Welcome to 1000 PS, welcome to the stunning, lovely Austrian Alps, and welcome to three bikes that almost perfectly match the hillside surrounding that you see behind me. All are brand new mics for 2024. So starting with the F900GS, we've got the full Enduro package on the standard bike, followed by Triumph's new Tiger Rally Pro and Honda's new Africa Twin. We've opted for 21-inch front wheel and semi-active suspension. In terms of pricing, we've got the 900GS base price is $11,995, so nearest damn it, £12,000. However, once you start ticking the accessories boxes like we've done, you're closer to 14,000, 15,000. Triumph's Tiger starts at 12,195, nearest damn it, 12 grand. But this is the Rally Pro, so that's 14,495. So there or thereabouts, same as the F900 with all the accessories. And the Africa Twin, that starts off at 13,199. So without the accessories, it's the cheapest. We fitted the semi-active suspension. So that's another £1,500. So the Africa Twin works out to be slightly more expensive than the other two. In terms of performance, who's got the bragging rights? Who's got the most horsepower? That's Triumph. Triumph have increased the power of the Tiger for 2024 whilst keeping displacement the same. Basically done lots of engine internals with piston and compression. So that is a quoted 106.5 horsepower. Then it's the F900GS with 105 horsepower, so there's only 1.5 horsepower in it. The Africa Twin has got 100 horsepower, so that's got the least horsepower, but the biggest engine. So the advantage of that is it's got the most torque, because Honda have really, for 2024, worked on torque for the Africa Twin. So 7% more torque than it had previously, so that has the most torque by far, with 82 foot-pounds of torque compared to around 66 on the other two. It makes more torque, and it makes the torque lower down. The other two are similar on torque, but the Triumph makes it higher up in the RPM because it's more of a revvy inline triple. In terms of who's put on the most weight over Christmas, Africa Twin is at 233 quoted, the Tiger 228, and the lightweight F900 is at 219. All three 21-inch front wheels, long travel suspension, as you'd expect, with a plethora of riding aids on every different model. Now, because we've got different power, different torque, different kind of aspirations, it's really interesting to have three bikes in a middleweight adventure test in this perfect playground here in the Austrian Alps, and have three very different bikes catering almost for three different riders. The kind of Africa Twin and Tiger are kind of more alike, but I'll come on to that a little bit later. So, we've done individual tests of these bikes here at 1000 PS. So if you want to see an individual test of this bike, and we go into a little bit more depth, then follow the link wherever they will put it. But in terms of what these bikes are like to ride in comparison, it's really interesting. So the Africa Twin is all about comfort and the torque for me. It's got loads and loads of drive low down. You just don't need to chase the revs. It's kind of almost lazy. You can just roll it from one hairpin to the other. When you're on the autobahn or motorway, as we like to say, it's really comfortable, it's soft, it's easy, it's manageable, really palatious. You've got the adjustable screen, which you have to use with two hands, which is a little bit negative, and some people don't like the switch gear. The Triumph is like almost got the comfort of the Africa Twin. It's really, really comfortable. Big screen, heated grips, heated seat, cruise control, lots of added extras for that price, but it's also got much more of a revvier engine, much more exciting. You've got to chase the revs a little bit. On the Africa Twin, you can roll out corners at 3,000 RPM and leave the Triumph at 3,000 RPM for absolute dead. It hasn't got the torque of the Africa Twin. But equally, when you rev the triple of the Triumph. It's got so much more fun than the Africa Twin. Africa Twin is by no means slow, but this has just got so much zap and over rev. It's almost like a little sports bike in an adventure style chassis. The F900, in terms of power and performance, it's got the same quoted torque as the Triumph, but the torque is lower in the RPM. So it's got more drive lower down. You don't have to chase the revs as much as you do on the Triumph. So it's kind of like an in-between balance between the two. But then it doesn't have the comfort and big mileage of these two. The screen isn't adjustable. It doesn't have the wind protection. It doesn't have the comfort, I don't think, of these two bikes. And that obviously depends on your size. Some of the bigger and larger riders here at 1000 PS are really not warm to the F900GS. They're much more accustomed and much more warm to the Africa Twin and Triumph in terms of comfort. In terms of overall appeal and styling, that's an individual choice, I guess. I think the Africa Twin still looks great, especially in these colours. The Tiger really stands out. This kind of, I don't know, lovely kind of deep grey, kind of like battleship grey. I kind of like it. The orange pops out. The F900 as a styling package, I think it looks great, even more so with the accessory shower forks that we've put on that bike. But I'm still unsure about the yellow. But I guess personal taste is down to you. Price-wise, as I've mentioned, we're all about the same. So it kind of comes down to a question of who's going to be the winner. And there's kind of a different scenario for that. So if I had to ride this bike from here, we're near the Hungarian border in the Austrian Alps, back to England, I'd probably choose the Africa Twin, maybe the Triumph, because these two are the most comfortable. These are the bikes you can throw out some big mileage on. These are the bikes you can just keep going. You know, tank range after tank range after tank range. You know, when you just go through 7, 8 or maybe 1,000 miles out in a day. If I'm just going to have a blast up and down the passes here in the Austrian Alps for the weekend, then it might be the Tiger, just because it's so much more fun, it's more enjoyable, it's revvy, it's peaky. It's kind of like a sports bike in an adventure chassis. And the level of finish and the level of components is really high. And then the F900 is just lightweight. It's so much more lighter and more fun than the Tiger, and you don't have to chase the power as much. So it's kind of like in between. It's not a sports bike in an adventurous chassis. It's just a fun, agile, kind of almost like a big supermoto. It's such a fun adventure bike, which I never thought I'd say about an F900GS. So maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would probably have chose the Africa Twin because I had the time and the budget to go away for 2 weeks around Europe. But wife, children, family, commitments, the chance of getting away for 2 weeks in Europe is pretty slim. So it's more of a long weekend. So of a long weekend, I'd probably go for the Triumph because it's almost got the comfort of the Africa Twin, but it's more fun and more sporty. But then if I just wanted a one-day blast up and down the Austrian Alps, then I might go for the F900GS. And the other benefit of the BMW is if I just tick some other accessories, I can almost get the F900 to be as comfortable as the Triumph. That's the beauty of the BMW accessories tick box. But the problem with that is you start spending some serious money. So picking an overall winner is really difficult because even though all three are middleweight adventure bikes, all capable off-road with 21-inch front wheels, similar power, similar kind of weight-ish and similar rider rates, they're three very, very different bikes with three very different personalities. So they're going to cater for three very different type of riders. We've got to pick a winner and it's really difficult because this afternoon we've got to ride back to the office. So I've got a bit of mountain passes to do and then about 40 or 50 mile of Autobahn. And for that reason, I want to edge towards the BMW. I just really like its lightness and funness and almost supermoto-like. But if we had a longer ride, I'd want to choose one of the other two. And if I was going to own the bike for a year and ride it through winter like we have in the UK, then it'd probably be the Africa Twin because I want that weather protection, I want that reliability, I want that ruggedness, and I want that torque. Because not every day is Australian Alps in perfect sunshine. But let me know what you think. Which one would you prefer? Which one do you like on looks alone? Fire some comments below. As I said previously, we've hit all three bikes in individual videos before. So if you want to see those videos, fire away. And if you want any more technical questions, equally, me or one of the guys from 1000 PS will get back to you as soon as you can. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hopefully we'll come back here for a group test very shortly.